Hello, everybody, and welcome to another great episode of the Gridiron Glory podcast here with Tad and Will. We got all 32 teams all season long covering their stories, their highlights, their struggles. We got it all here. All things NFL with Tad and Will. So we're here to bring you a matchup that took place in week 14 between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Yeah, and when it comes to the Miami Dolphins, this is a team. Okay, well, I mean, talking about the storylines of these two football clubs, Dolphins are 6-7, fighting for their playoff lives. A win that they needed, a gritty win. Aaron Rodgers went out there and played his football life off. 27-39, 339 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions. Even led his team late in this game to put them in a good chance to win. Tad, it's just it's sad. It's sad. I mean, we talked about the Giants, but the Jets are right there too. It just a really sad take of what's going on for both of the New York teams, and that includes the Jets too. But here's the thing, Tad, when it comes to the New York Jets, I mean, this is a football franchise that has not won, or Tad, they have not appeared in the playoffs in 14 seasons. That is the longest drought in the NFL. Okay, and not only that, but now you were excited going into the preseason that you were going to have Aaron Rodgers back and everything like that. And then obviously, Robert Saleh gets fired early in the season. And you've just been kind of trying to find ways to make it work. I mean, the Jets, like I said, they competed hard in this game. I mean, it was honestly really nice to see Devontae Adams getting a little bit more involved for once. 9 catches, 109 yards, a touchdown. Even Garrett Wilson, 7 catches, 114 yards. So his receivers for Aaron Rodgers there they put the Jets in a good position to win.
Yeah.
The Dolphins were, the Dolphins were not going to die either. I mean, this was, I don't know. And it was kind of a disappointing letdown at the, just at the end, how their defense kind of, you put in all that effort, just to get through this. And like I said, when it comes to the Jets, it's just, they have the longest playoff drought in the NFL. And now here they are at this point in the season. Boy, do you feel for their fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a ride the last 2 years. I mean, you think of how it went for Rodgers last year, losing him out in the first drive of the season for the entire season. And this year, they've just never found their footing. I mean, it's just been – it's not a good football team. The defense has gotten worse, which is really surprising. That's the most surprising part to me because they had a really good defense last year, even as they were losing games because they couldn't move the ball on offense. They had a very strong defense last year. This year, their defense has just seen a lot of decline across the boards. I mean – You got to ask some questions about the Jets' defensive coaching staff. I mean, I think you just have to ask those questions.
I mean, the Jets competed. They fought. The Dolphins just found a way to win. And, I mean, it's because the starting quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, back, 33 of 47, 2 touchdowns. Devin Achane, 14 catches, 24 yards, and that touchdown there. Tyreek Hill, 10 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown. Tad, earlier in the season when I was asking your rankings of Hill, you said your rankings had declined. I simply stand by my ranking. Never dropped of Tyreek Hill. It was he needed his quarterback. It didn't really speak to his skill level because that's being proven that with the right quarterback that was designed for him, he is back to being right who he is. 10 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown. Even a 21-yard catch at one point. Jonnu Smith, he's kind of a guy, to me, 3 catches, 44 yards. even out a touchdown. Jonnu Smith, 61 catches, 692 yards on the season, 5 touchdowns. The former player out of tennis, or sorry, yeah, he got drafted. He was originally drafted to the Titans. I believe this is his first year in the Dolphins, the 29-year-old out of Florida International. Yeah, what's your take on Jonnu Smith?
Yeah, he had a really interesting game. In regulation, he had no catches, and then he has the 3 catches in overtime, including the game-winning touchdown. So, I mean, he's. I know you like to use the term sneakily good, and I'd say that that would apply in some cases to Jonnu Smith. I mean, he goes out there, he competes, and I mean, he's already has the second most touchdowns he's had in his career this year so far with his 5. He's got a career high in yards, so I mean he's having a pretty solid season. He's a veteran at this point. I'd say not quite seasoned, but he's a veteran, so
Yeah,
he's doing pretty well for himself.
yeah, absolutely. So, really, really good stuff to see there. Yeah, Ted, I want to ask your opinion on Chop Robinson, who in this game
Oh yeah,
did get a tackle or I'm sorry, a solo tackle. He got a solo tackle,
yeah.
and yeah, just a
So yeah,
PD.
looking at Chop Robinson, I mean the rookie from Penn State, he
Yeah,
was a dominant college player, one of the best in the Big Ten, a guy that you always had a scheme against, and I mean so far he's still seeing what he can do in the NFL. Only 11 solo tackles, 3.5 sacks so far in his career, so he's still getting his feet wet, and I mean he's obviously a disruptive player. I mean he's going to continue to grow, and I mean just for one, just starting as a rookie, I think that's pretty incredible. I know I say that a lot, but I mean at this point I've been fairly impressed by Chop Robinson throughout college, and now we're seeing what he can do in the league.
yeah, yeah, without a doubt about it. So yeah, I'm really impressed by what Chop Robinson. I mean, a very young career so far, but I'm kind of excited to see what he can do. So you got Zach. Also, I would say probably the most impressive defensive performance, Zach Seiler. Um, yeah, the defensive tackle out of Ferris State. So very good there. Shout out to him. Yeah, just Dolphins. I mean, they're going to keep fighting for their playoff lives, and they do it here once again, 32 to 26 in overtime against their AFC East rivals. Next week, the Dolphins will be going on to take on a very good matchup against the Houston Texans on the road. Meanwhile, the Jets will be. Let's see. The Jets will be taking on. Yeah, the Jets are going to be going on the road and taking on the Jaguars. So that should be a fun game there too. I didn't really have any other final thoughts or takes on this game unless you did.
I'll say credit to both kickers. Andres Carlson 4 for 4 for the Jets. Jason Sanders 4 for 4 for Miami on field goals.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, credit to both of the kickers getting the job done. So, Dolphins win 32 to 26. This is the Gridiron Glory.